What's good, everybody? DeMel speaks in the house. Been a minute, but I'm back up in it. Uh, Chilling up north. Just wanted to stop in and talk about the pros and cons of being OTR. Cold out here right now. So, let's start with the pros. One pro is being able to travel, being able to get away from home, kind of disappear and travel the country. Turn on the light in here. Being able to go to places you've never been before all throughout America. Up north, down south, east, west, you know, top of America, New York, all that. I've been everywhere, man. That's one pro. Being able to get away from your usual. Being able to see the sights. Pretty much when it comes to America, seeing the world, and you're not spending your own money. That's a big plus. Another pro would be if you don't have a home to go to, say you put everything in storage, is one of the smart things you can do as a pro of being a trucker. Not having rent, not having a power bill, not having a gas bill, not having to pay for internet. Unless you have a laptop or something like that, you know, paying for your pretty much mobile Wi-Fi, but not having no excessive bills, paying for sewage, you know, gas back and forth to your job destination, things of that sort. Those are big pros. Saving yourself a lot of money living out of your truck. Um, Pro number 3 is if you play it right and use your hours wisely, you can take yourself anywhere you want to go. You ask your dispatch, hey, I want to go to New York. You take a 2-3 day trip out to New York and you spend your 34-hour out of New York. Florida, I've been to Florida, took my daughters to Florida. We stayed in Miami. It was a little weird, but we were out there. That was a pro. I was able to get my daughters and they took a trip with me from California. We drove all the way to Florida. We went to Atlanta, things like that. Being able to have your family with you on their time off, say summer, some of those breaks they have in between, to travel the country with you. Those are pros. The main pro is not having any bills to pay. Being able to just stack up and set money aside to do what you want to do in life. You may not want to be a trucker your whole life. So the pro is stacking your bank account, which is something I didn't do. Stacking your bank account up and setting aside to purchase a home, to find something local, and having that money set aside to enjoy. Pro number 4. Pro number 4 is just change of scenery. It's always good to brighten your horizon and see other parts of the country and and see how other people live. See what's out there for you. Like I said, when you have your time off, not even a 34-hour reset. Just, you know, hopping in an Uber or hopping in a Lyft and taking yourself to an amusement park or museum or just anything to enjoy yourself, not fully out of your pocket. You may have to, pay for the Uber, which isn't much because a lot of these truck stops are at times near um, city areas where it's a quick ride. I know when I went to New York, I spent, what was it, $3, maybe three or $5 years ago to go from a truck stop off the freeway. It was a big truck stop, free parking, and traveled into New York and went and saw the Statue of Liberty. Those are the pros. Um, Really, at the moment, I can't think of any other pros because those are the main ones. Just saving money and traveling the country, which a lot of people don't understand. When you travel the country, you see more than what people perceive. There's a lot of empty land in America. Even though America, when you think about it, mileage wise, is not not that big. A couple thousand miles and you're on the other side of the country. Just a few days. When you drive right, you know, if you go from California to New York, man, I've done that drive more than once. And man, 2.5, maybe 3 days, give or take. Just depending on the traffic, depending on, you know, how fast you need to go. Now you have the ELD, which holds you back a lot, but you can get there in a few days. So let's go to the cons now. Let's start with the main con. Health. Being in a truck is not healthy, not at all. The truck stops, they don't they don't have a, an abundance of healthy food in these truck stops. The the limited amount of healthy foods you'll get at a truck stop is crazy. You'll mainly be, if you want to be healthy, yeah, you got your walks you can do. You got, I have some exercise equipment, like I have weights and things of that sort, jump ropes, all that. But to eat a healthy meal that's not packed full of preservatives, man, it's hard to do unless you stop at some of these grocery stores that's near these truck stops and get you a good amount of groceries. Make sure you have your refrigerator. That's a con too. Not a lot of companies provide you with a refrigerator with your truck, so it's something you may have to purchase. Um, some companies don't provide you with a um inverter. Now the inverter is going to cost you. It's going to cost you to get put in unless you have one already, which probably not, unless you're expecting to go on a truck someday and have one set aside. But the inverter is not having one in a truck. Coming with a truck is a major con because you want to have a refrigerator. You want to have things you want to plug up. Say you want to plug up a microwave. You want to plug up just the usual essentials, just to charge things up. Plug up your your laptop, iPad, things like that, you're going to need an inverter. A lot of truckers have breathing machines because your health gets a little out of hand and you may not be sleeping right because of the weight gain. So when you go and get your medical exam or medical, you know, thing, you may need to get a breathing machine, which you're going to have to plug up and use every night. So these are all cons. The con is um not sleeping in your own bed, not having the comfort of getting up and fully stretching and walking around and, you know, using your own restroom, having closet space. A con of being able to be at home and have your feet up, sitting on your couch watching your TV. Yeah, you could put a TV in here. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you to mount if there's room to mount a television. That's a con also. Not all trucks that you get is gonna have that room to mount a television, whether it be 20-inch to 30-inch. You know, you might be watching TV on your phone. Um, uh, the main con is time with family. If you're a family person and you enjoy spending time with family, with your children, with your spouse, however you may call it, girlfriends, parents, just anything, you're gonna miss out on a lot of family time. You're gonna miss out on birthdays. You're gonna miss out on Christmas. If you play it right, you can get back home around that time. Sometimes it's not gonna happen. You're gonna miss so many things being out over the road. The dangers of driving is a major con. Right now I'm in up north, Washington. It's raining out here. Earlier, it was hell. It was rain. It was windy. And that's a big danger. Driving in itself is a danger. Drinking too much water, from what I'm seeing, it makes your feet swell up because lack of movement. You know, a con is your limited amount of miles that you're given. Now, you can be given 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles, but you're limited to 11 hours. Really, let's say it says 11 hours on the clock. It's really 10 and a half. Maybe you want to drive 9 hours so you could continuously drive every single day. But you're limited to amount of money you can make when it comes to how far you can drive in a day. If you're up and you got a lot of energy and you could do 15 hours of driving, you're not going to be able to. You're limited to 11 hours. That's your limit. You could do the 7-3 split and push it a little bit further, but you're really just limited to how far your trip is and the 11-hour clock, because not everybody wants to drive in the middle of the night when there's no traffic. Night driving is a con. Yeah, the roads are empty, but it's still at night. Our bodies aren't designed to be up all night. Our bodies are designed to go to sleep when the sun goes down and be up when the sun comes up. It is what it is, but we're so trained to be up because we gotta work all hours of the day. So breathing exhaust is a con. It's a health risk. You close the windows. You you turn your truck on to get the heat. Maybe Vegas to get the cold. You turn your AC on. You may have a APC unit which works but doesn't really work. It's hit and miss. It might work good and it might not. It's not going to keep you cold like you think it is. It keeps you warm on those cold days, but it won't cool you on those hot ones. So that's a con for you right there. You got to pick and choose when becoming a truck driver the pros and cons for yourself. What do you want to do? How do you want to play it? Is it worth it? Are are the Does the cons outweigh the pro? Does the pro outweigh the cons for you and how you figure your life? Are you a loner? If you're a loner and you don't have any children and you're fresh out of high school, or you're want to just stack some cheese up, you want a quick bubble and you don't have any responsibilities, truck driving will be good for you. It's an easy business to get into. It'll keep you busy. Like I said before, you could travel the country, stack your money up, and then become a local driver, or find you a woman or a partner that wants to be a trucker too. That's a pro. If you could find you a spouse that wants to be a trucker also, and you team up, you guys can switch it up, and they drive 8, you drive 8, and on your 34 hours you guys go see the country or see whatever city you're in if you've never been there before. On your 10-hour rest break, um if you guys were to shut down for a day because you guys don't want to push it, go and get a drink together and chill. Grab, maybe even grab a hotel, because there are hotels by some of these truck stops. But when you really think about it, the pros and cons are really serious. And you really need to think about what you want to do when it pertains to being a truck driver. Because it's a lot out here you're going to deal with. I'm hearing a lot about people having issues parking, not a lot of parking spaces. The trucks I'm at right now have maybe a good 60, maybe 80 spots, give or take. There's a lot of truck stops out here with 100, 200 spots. But up and down these freeways, there's not a lot of truck stops. So you might have to sleep on the side of the road, which a lot of companies don't want you to do. So you gotta stop the truck early and hopefully find a truck stop with ample amount of parking. All these pros and cons, taking a shower every day. If you don't have your Love's Pilot TA card with a lot of points on it, you might not be taking a shower every day. You might be doing getting a wipey and doing a bird bath. Washing the parts that are important and keeping it pushing. So these to me are a lot of pros and cons that don't get talked about. So I'm the one to talk about them. I'll come with more pros and cons. I'll take the time to jot down what I'm seeing, what I hear, and what I'm dealing with, and I'll give my take on them. So, do your boy a favor. Jamel Speaks in the house. Like, share, and subscribe. And get back at me. I'll see you on the next one.